Good evening, it's Friday, June 21st, 2024 at 7 o'clock. It's Town of Wilmington, Connecticut's Board of Finance meeting. We will call the meeting to order and seating of alternates not necessary this evening. So we will move on to approval of the minutes. We'll start with the minutes from 5/16/2024. Anybody have any suggested changes to it?
I think they're very detailed and they're really good. But I do think. When we were talking about the, staff reductions at the school. And I think it's on page 9, but it's one paragraph. I feel like there was more that was said there. Which specifically there was a comment about how we could just let go of teachers and they could have other opportunities. And that it would be a way of giving them opportunities or something like that. And I think that should be reflected in the minutes.
Cool.
I
For
think,
me,
yeah, it was Bruce. Yeah.
anything else?
So are you talking about inserting that as amending that as a,
Yeah,
as an indirect vote?
right. It was a long meeting.
Maybe the part that said after the sentence on page 9, it says teachers can be in this category as well. Right there. Is that what you, it's that,
Yeah, I think that's where it is. I mean, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at the tape. But I just remember that comment. That's what it was.
Anything else?
No, I just think like, if we want the minutes to reflect the tape, maybe they ought to be verbatim for the tape and it'd be about 5 times longer than we're reading right here. That was how many hour meeting?
3 hours.
Yeah. So everything's not captured in the minutes that was said in that meeting.
No,
I think she's talking
Yeah.
about a specific.
I understand that, but
Would be
we
great.
maybe, we ought to maybe, and if we want everything that was said in the meeting, and, I agree that should go in there, but we want everything that was said in the meeting, then, these minutes are a book.
yeah,
I'll be quite frank, the whole meeting comes back and minutes, I won't be reading them. I got things to do.
I don't think anyone's arguing to,
No.
Okay.
to contain the whole minutes. That'd be what, 45 pages, Lisa, something like that.
yeah, and Lisa does a great job of summarizing it all. I just think because we don't have any way unless, other than people can watch the tape, but if they don't and they wanna just kind of skim it and see other things, this is all we have to communicate to people what we were talking about. So, and I go back and look at minutes from 10 years ago sometimes. And just to remember why we decided something, or even who was involved in things. Cause you forget that stuff after time goes by. At least I do.
No other changes to the minutes from May 16th. We have a motion to accept the minutes.
I move we accept the minutes as amended.
Okay, you have a second?
Second,
Right, all those in favor?
I,
I gotta abstain, I wasn't there. Okay,
yes,
any opposed? All right, next we'll move on to the minutes from May 28th, 2024. Any comments or changes that need to be made?
few minutes. Can I make a motion to approve them?
Yes, you may. We have a second.
second,
All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Right, next we will move on to present to speak. Public participation is desired and encouraged. Speakers will be limited to time appropriateness of comments to maintain progress, stay on topic, and maintain decorum. Do we have anybody for present to speak? No, so we will move on to old biz.
Bruce, can I do present to speak?
Sure.
Okay, only because it's a special meeting, we can't add something to the agenda, so I guess it's a request that in the next meeting, maybe we talk about how things went this year, just like a lessons learned and review of the whole process, because I think that would just be a good thing for us to do. I think we've done that before. And it just helps set us up for next year. And I know, the CIP committee is gonna be starting up meetings soon. Like we said, we were gonna this year start it in the summer, so. Sorry, Peter, but, at least for the tours of the buildings, that takes like weeks and weeks and weeks to do. So we'll just start doing that, but, I just think it would be a good thing to do.
And so why don't you send me an email regarding that and I'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, anybody else for?
well, in addition to that, could I just add, maybe, I don't know, Christina, if you could add this in the note, I think it'd be a good idea if we had like a layout of all the costs, not just the registrars, we know theirs is about $3,000, but a town hall wide. If there is impact on the tax collector, I know if it would have failed on Tuesday, she would have had several thousand for a second mailing or for tax bills going out late. So that's one good thing, but I think we need to see that because, and you know, like legal notices, any town clerk costs, any cost to the town hall, all of that needs to be wrapped in because it's unbudgeted. So, and we haven't had a second referendum in whatever, 30 years plus, and I think we need to do two things. One is talk about what we do for the current fiscal budget that also does not have it in there, how we pay for it now, but also, you know, where should it come from and what transfers do we do? I don't know, usually we do transfers at the June meeting. Are we doing any tonight?
We are not, we're doing them in July,
Okay,
July 18th.
okay. So maybe that's the perfect time then, because how we pay for it will depend on, you know, what the status is of the budget lines elsewhere.
Thank you, Steph. Okay, so we'll move on to old business. Number one, review and acceptance of suspense list presented by Janice Clausen, revenue collector. You with us, Janice?
How's everyone?
Very good. How are you, Janice?
Good. So I don't know if everyone has had a chance to look at their copy of this, but the suspense list that I show, these taxes are uncollectible. Many of them for personal property businesses have closed. So we're not going to see that money. Motor vehicle, a lot of international students who purchase a car when they get here in August. And by the time we know about it, they're already gone. So that happens quite a bit. The current motor vehicle for 22, these are all deceased persons, and either their estate's closed or there are no funds in the estate to collect. So our grand total between 2018 and 2022, $19,951.14. Now, even though these transfer to suspense, we still have the 15 years to collect on them. I know collection company has gotten some in I think the past month, we had some from 2010, 2011, 2012. So it's not a lost cause, but this is what my thought is. We may not ever see collection on these.
Any questions for Janice?
Maybe
Right,
motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the suspense list as presented.
we have a second?
Second.
Second, are you in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, everyone.
You need signatures, right?
Yeah, I need to sign
Yeah.
it.
Anyone
Yes.
else?
Have to sign
You
it.
need any witnesses?
And who gets this? Do I put
That
you?
has to go into that has to go in the town clerk files.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take it after.
Yep.
Okay, great, thank you, Don. All right, next we'll move on to new business and set the mill rates for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Suggested motion for consideration by the Board of Finance, regular meeting, June 21st, 2024. Motion to set the mill rate for fiscal years 2024 to 25. The mill rate for the fiscal year 2025 for the town of Wellington shall be set at 33.89 mils for all real and personal properties excluding motor vehicles. And in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes 12-71 E. As amended by Public Act 22-118, Section 413, the mill rate for motor vehicles shall be set at 32.46 mils. Do you have any comments or discussion for that?
Did you move that?
So moved.
Okay, second.
Discussion?
Just that you were reading the top of this memo and it's not the regular meeting and it's not June 20th, so I just want to make sure the record reflects it's a special meeting on June 21st.
Anything else on that? You have a motion to vote on it? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. All right, next we have the May 2024 financial report for the town of 10-6, difference manager.
Yes. The one-page report for the month of May is in your packet. It's pretty much what we've expected and what we've been seeing. The revenues are favorable across all categories. Departments are working their way through their budgets. And we're just about at the end.
Is this just what happened in this month in terms of intergovernmental and property taxes? Is that like a cash flow difference or is there some reason it's tracking higher?
Property taxes usually end with a favorable of $100,000. So now we're seeing that we're at the end, and that's just what happens year after year. Intergovernmental. Well, do you have what it was last month at the end of April, through April? Let me see if I can tell you, something came in from the state, maybe something came in from the state. That's all I can tell you to explain, and I just have year to date, I don't have month to date. But it could be that a grant payment came in from the state. We don't know.
Okay.
She's just asking about in total,
Okay.
Right,
right?
but it
Okay,
is,
right.
it is already, you know, as of 1 month before the end of the fiscal year, it's tracking 200 grand over what we budgeted for that. So is that grants we got during the year that weren't factored into the budget? Or is
Yes,
that,
the municipal revenue sharing was not budgeted, that was 140,000.
thank you.
Donna, don't we usually by this time do some transfers?
This was a very rushed meeting because of the closing on Wednesday. So, usually like July, I have them prepped for July,
Mhm.
which is gonna be good because we'll know exactly what we need and we'll have a better idea of where we are.
Mhm.
But July is a good month to do transfers. June is good, but you still have to do a lot of forecasting. And if you miss your forecast, you have to come back and do it in July again.
Yeah,
So,
um,
we have some departments that are overspent, that are tracking to be overspent and will be overspent. So I have transfers for you all lined up,
okay,
and I have money, we have departments that will cover them.
Like the registrars are already over, right, because of this unbudgeted.
Well, and they have some encumbrances that I don't know if all their encumbrances are
Right,
gonna
right.
materialize. So I don't know until all of their bills come in for sure where they are. But if they are, overspent, I'll know exactly how much and I'll have a transfer prepped for you.
and you have a
In
place
July.
to get it from,
And I have a place to get it from. Yes,
okay.
Okay, we can't wait for the big reveal.
yeah, no worries about that.
Thank you, Donna. Any other questions for Donna? All right, next correspondence. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming here on a Friday night. I did not realize that the town's building was going to be closed on Wednesday. So we were not able to get the agenda on in time for a meeting last night. Thank you, Donna, for calling that to my attention, and thank you to Jeff for arranging everything yesterday so that we could be here. So now we'll move on to.
It's kind of good because the mill rate wasn't on the first agenda. So that would have been a little bit of a problem if we would have gone through with the regular meeting.
Yes, but you could add on a regular meeting,
That's true. We can't,
so we could
we
have,
can't tonight,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Thank you. Present to speak, public participation is desired and encouraged. Speakers will be limited to time and appropriateness of comments to maintain progress. Stay on topic and maintain decorum. Do we have anybody for present to speak? We do not. Good and welfare. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? No?
I'd just like to say, appreciate the voters who were involved in the election and came out for a second election. It was a curveball because it really hasn't happened here in enough time that a lot of people probably completely got by them. I know I talked to a few people who said, oh, I didn't even know about that. Because our signs are pretty minimalist, you would say, vote Tuesday, or something like that. So, anyway, I think it was, for the folks who stayed focused and followed that, it was really good. So I'll wait till the postmortem really, but I hope you guys hang on to get a chance to look at the way Tallinn communicated to their voters. Because they established a narrative, they pointed out the things that were different in their budget that were confusing, and honestly, our budget packet's got a lot of figures in it and no narrative, so. The letter that was done went up a few days, but it had to be taken down within a couple days, and it was only on the town site, so. I don't think a lot of people saw it. So I think,
I think it went home in a backpack for all the kids at the school.
what's that?
It went home in the school backpack,
The letter did?
yeah.
That's good. I didn't hear that. I mean, I wasn't sure that it made that, but yeah. But I mean, as far as the other voters that don't have school age kids.
Do a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to, oh, did you make the motion? You said it, do we have?
I was asking.
I'll make a motion.
Give a second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thanks, everybody.
No, never.
I'm gonna lock the door, I gotta, have a good weekend.